Hey there and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my top 8 favorite fragrances for spring. Spring is my favorite season and I just love wearing really floral, fresh, easy to wear, breezy, but girly fragrances for spring. Something for that in-between weather where it's not, super cold and you want something warm, gourmand, and rich, but it's not yet summer where I'm gonna get into like the coconutty beachy fragrances. So it's right there in the middle and we'll get into my top 8. We're gonna start from the most expensive niche and then work our way to the least expensive and most affordable. And if you're already a subscriber and a longtime viewer, then you might have seen some of these, but you haven't seen all, I don't think. And if you're just joining me for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. I put out new fragrance videos every single day, and yeah, I'd love to have you join the family. So let's get into it. So the first one I'll talk about is Magnolia Nobile, and this is by Acqua de Parma. Magnolia is a note in general I really like to wear in the spring. It's just magnolias come into bloom in the spring, I think around May, and I just think it's really nice. This one, it's got a great sprayer. It's got magnolia, bergamot, and jasmine, and I get a little bit of rose in this as well. It's a very fresh, like citrusy take on magnolia, and I think the bergamot just brings like a citrusy freshness to it, obviously, but then magnolia is the real star, and the jasmine and the rose are kind of like the backup dancers to magnolia, if you will. I really do like this. I adore magnolia in general. I think it's a really, really nice note to wear in spring, and this is a beautiful take on it. Even though it's a citrusy floral, which they don't tend to last as long as, more deep, richer scents, this one lasts a very long time. Acqua de Parma did a beautiful job with this one, and you get like a good 5-6 hours of me getting to smell it, pretty strongly on myself, especially on clothing. So definitely recommend. This is more expensive, obviously, but I will say Acqua de Parma is a brand that you can find and a house that's sometimes at Marshall's and TJ Maxx and Winners, and so keep an eye out. I actually did find mine at a Winners or Marshall's about a year ago, or maybe like 10 months ago, and yeah, it was about $90 there, and I'm so happy I blind bought it, and I really, really do like it, and it's definitely a star within the Nobile range. So definitely recommend Magnolia Nobile. Then my other kind of niche, more expensive pick for spring is Dama Bianca by Xerjoff, and this is the Casamrati line. This one, that's actually what I'm wearing today on my arm here. So I have the dry down and the top notes. It's beautiful. This is it's got lime, lily of the valley, and violet and musk, and you kind of get all of that. So I feel like the lime's right at the opening. It makes it fresh, it makes it a little tart. Then the lily of the valley is the main flower note that I can get, and it's a really beautifully done lily of the valley. The violet isn't as strong as in some of my pure violet fragrances, but it brings a lot of powderiness to this fragrance, which I totally adore, and it's a soft powder because of that violet. And then finally, as it's starting to wear off and just get to the dry down and becomes a skin scent, you get that really stunning soft white musk, and the violet kind of sticks around and adds that powderiness to it. It's stunning. Again, it's niche, it is going to be expensive, but I've had brilliant luck with Xerjoff fragrances in general. I own 3 right now, and I'd love to get more, and they do actually last a long time, which isn't the case with all niche fragrances. So I definitely recommend take a look at the notes. I blind bought this and I'm totally happy with it from first sniff to now. Stunning and amazing for spring. Then we'll get into the designer fragrances. So the first one's Burberry Body Tender, obviously a flanker of the regular Burberry Body, and this one, it's stunning. I really do like this one for spring. It's got apple, peach, jasmine, vanilla, and then it lists tea leaves as part of the notes. And sometimes I get it and sometimes I can't on me. Today, as I sprayed in the air, I definitely get that tea leaves note, which just elevates it even more for me. But personally, I think because of those fruity notes and the floral, obviously, this is just a more elevated, more grown up version of a fruity floral. So while I think like Escada does a lot of, in my opinion, youthful, girly, really simple fruity florals, this is the slightly more grown-up version that has those tea leaves and has vanilla, and it's just more wearable in my opinion, nicer in my opinion, and really, really nice for spring. It's just an easy reach whenever I don't know what to wear, and I can just like pull this one and know that it'll make me feel happy, and it's like a juicy floral that's really easy to wear and incredible for that in-between weather, as I say. So that's Burberry Body Tender. Then we've got a fragrance I didn't know I would love so much, Honey by Marc Jacobs. I love this fragrance. This, I will say, the honey in this is not, you know, a sickly, syrupy, rich honey that you would wear or that you would tend to wear in colder weather. This is a soft honey. It's a sweet, very, very sweet honey. And the fragrance is actually a lot fresher and a lot more of the white floral with a dash of honey, I would say. And this has pear, orange, honeysuckle as well. And I think that pear and orange keep it fruitier, keep it more youthful, keep it juicier. And the honeysuckle is a really sweet flower in general. So the honeysuckle and honey go beautifully together. I think it's a really nice, youthful fragrance. I think anyone can really wear this, but it just makes me feel young, I guess, but it makes me feel happy, and I think it's stunning for spring, and I totally recommend. Then we've got a fragrance I talk about all the time, Un Jardin sur le Toit by Hermes. This one is beautiful. This one takes me right back to Greece every time I smell it, because I took this on a trip with me to Greece. So it's just a green fruity floral. This has got apple, pear, rose, grass, and magnolia as well. The magnolia in this is obviously softer than in Magnolia Nobile, but the apple and pear bring fruitiness and juiciness to it. The magnolia and rose are obviously the main florals, and then that grass note makes it a green fragrance, but a green fragrance that I really enjoy, because those can be hit or miss, and this is just beautifully blended. And the Jardin line in general I think is stunning, and this is no exception. So that's Un Jardin sur le Toit. Then my last designer fragrance is Fleur de Parfum by Chloe, and I will say if you enjoy Chloe fragrances, you will like this, and vice versa. If you don't, you won't really like this. Except for Nomad, which in my opinion is in a category of its own. Most Chloe fragrances have, you know, definitely have that heart of rose in it, so you have to like the Chloe rose to like this, but this is a more citrusy, lemon verbena, sparkling version of that. So the lemon verbena is very sparkling, and you definitely get it. It kind of feels like champagne fuzz, and it's really nice. And then you get rose, and it's actually got rose pistil in this, apparently. And pistil, for those who don't know, is kind of like the female reproductive organ of the rose, right in the center. I don't know how you would pick that out in terms of the note. To me, it's just a very citrusy rose, and yeah, it's got orange blossom and powdery rice as well. And as it starts to wear off, and I will say this lasts a very long time as well, as it starts to wear off on your skin, you do get that soft powderiness in it, and I think it's really beautiful. And yeah, super, super feminine fragrance. Definitely recommend. Then finally, our last two are the most affordable ones, and the first one I've talked about, and I know that I love, but I still don't hear anyone talking about this, so it's kind of like my little secret. Boucheron Fleur by Boucheron is stunning. I love this. It's like, it also has a great sprayer, by the way. I just want to like drink this. It's just so juicy of a fragrance. It's got orange and lemon and orange blossom and frangipani, and it's like a watery, juicy floral, if that makes any sense. It's not aquatic, but when I say that it's like watery, it's as if like the flowers are, you know, just blooming, they have dew on them, and the orange and the fruity notes just make it super, super juicy. And I really, really love this. It's stunning for spring. I think it's like the perfect time of year to really wear this. It's like the epitome of a spring fragrance for me personally, and I definitely recommend it. It's around 30 bucks. I don't hear really anyone talking about it, so if you wear it, you'll be pretty unique, and I really love this. And then finally, the last one is Tease Rebel, or Rebel Tease by Victoria's Secret, and I think this might be discontinued. You might be able to find it at their kind of semi-annual sales or online, but this is really nice actually. This has got rose and violet leaf and violet, and it lists leather in the notes as well. Personally, I don't really get much of a leather at all, but I've heard that the body wash has a stronger leather, but I don't own that. So to me, it's just kind of like a slightly rose violet leaf fragrance. It's very airy. It's the complete opposite of like a Rebel Tease fragrance that you'd imagine. It's very safe. It's very girly. It's very fresh and very light. So I just think it's perfect for spring, and in general, this is a fragrance that I'm trying to use up by Victoria's Secret, but it's one that I'm really enjoying using up, especially this time of year. So yeah, if you can find it or if you own it, I think it's beautiful for spring, and it's pretty inexpensive as well. So that's my last pick. Those are my 8 top spring fragrances. Leave me your suggestions or your top picks for spring fragrances in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.